Because I think, never apologize for balling is a great way to enter into the review of day one. I really do.
Honestly, though, yeah, it fits.
Yeah. Scott Morton. All right, I'll let you in, Scotty Moore. Come on, buddy. Let's do this.
Wait, Scotty's jumping.
It's Scott Moore, not Scott Yee.
Oh,
don't get us confused, damn it.
Well, I mean,
I was like,
you got crappy lighting. I couldn't tell. Sorry.
Not Scotty Moe.
Yeah, Scotty Moe is off being a rock star this weekend, super busy and stuff.
Nah, I'm just teasing. I know I'm live. I didn't know we were live. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So, yeah, that's the first question out of the chat. Who replaced Phil? Phil, Stephanie. I don't know what Phil's doing. Phil is being
not
slack.
Italian enough for you?
Nobody's as Italian as Phil.
I've been told Phil's driving home. I don't know what's going on. Hey everybody, I'm Charles McFall, the director of the DragonCon digital media track, and it was pushed me very late and drunkenly this week. Hey, we should do a review at the end of the day because this is a really good thing for the con, because we do it at the end of the con usually, and there's no way we do it at the end of the con on this one. And I'm like, okay, I don't get to talk at all for 10 hours, so I'll put 11th hour
Bobby,
in and talk.
Wrong.
Why not?
Bobby Blackwolf in the chat said Charles couldn't get on any panels, so he made one just for him.
True story. That's literally how I started doing panels at DragonCon. I started making panels that I could run and go, here, guys, you want this one? Do you want this one?
12 o'clock at night. Hey, let's do our new podcast at midnight. Like, all right, fine, man.
Really, it's just a way to promote our podcast. This is not how we do our podcast at all. But hey,
pretty fucking close.
Have you watched it?
Yeah. You guys seem to have a lot of fun today.
This is how your podcast feels.
Okay. At midnight, I've gone through 2 tankards of stuff. I've been drinking tonight a little bit.
It's after 10, Charles.
I'm not allowed to drink stuff on screen.
I'm empty now. A little bit of ice, and that's it.
Nobody knows where you're at. As far as we're concerned, you're in Atlanta.
You're right.
Where it's after 10. Yeah, so Charles, you just said you wanted to do a wrap up talk about the day's panels. I gotta say, I gotta open up and just say, you
haven't been on plenty of panels today, but go ahead, Tony.
Have you met me? Have you met me?
By the way, we have a guest. We have Scott Moore, but don't introduce him. In all sincerity.
Yeah, also another.
I'm not important.
We have Steph Carniola.
Oh, that's Everybody knows her.
Whatever.
It's like
I'm not really a guest.
Introducing her would be like introducing Kevin Smith. Like, no shit, we know who she is.
Yeah, did you guys just get off of a panel and you got to introduce us? It just rolled over from you guys to more of you guys.
We're in demand, Tony. Don't be jealous.
Tony, I'm kind of regretting rigging it for him last year because now all of a sudden they're all over the damn place.
What did we say? Don't apologize for balling.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not balling. They haven't paid me yet.
So Tony, you had something you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say this. I think everything so far today. Well, we're done now. This is it. Everything today has been absolutely amazing. I don't like to say nice things because it's not funny, but
this is true.
Everything. I mean, I was really bummed about not going to DragonCon this year, and I'm blown away by how great all the stuff just on our track was. Our track, digital media track, was amazing. Everything was smooth, and even the stuff on the main channels and some of the other tracks, there's been so much that I can't watch it all, and I've been absolutely blown away. So yeah, now I can go back to being an a-hole, but I had to get that one out. Everything's been amazing, and it's only day
everybody
one.
Gets one.
It starts getting late. I start getting a little sensitive. I got a half a beer in me.
The drinks start hitting and the tears start
Tony,
flowing.
You got half a stuff.
I just wanted to share it. It's just been amazing.
I gotta say,
no, guys,
Tony,
I'm
Bobby,
serious.
if you want to jump on the
yeah, Bobby,
Zoom.
because because Bobby's
It's the
been
same
working a lot in
Zoom
the
link.
background.
It's the
You've been
same
giving
link.
out,
Come on,
Bobby.
man.
Yeah.
I'd like to shout out Naru also, since
I don't give
He
him a
was
big head. He hates Merida.
almost forgotten to be outroed. Just trying to cultivate that chat.
Yo,
We appreciate you, Naru.
real talk.
And I
bro.
gotta I don't know if he's gonna jump in or not. I gotta give a shout out to Bobby and to Joe for
Yes.
holding it down because I had to work today. So
Ugh.
they were running the tech before I got here, and everything was going super smooth.
And
I really
it has
appreciate them.
gone super smooth today. For
Unbelievable.
sure.
Yeah, so
Now,
I
I
feel
hope-
like organizing people in green rooms, in Zoom calls, in everything throughout the day, that is not it's not easy. Making sure everyone's cameras and mics and all of that tech stuff is working is super obviously important, but like the way y'all did it was so seamless and so clear and so easy for us, at least as users. So like huge applause to the background of that.
Well, we're digital media. We can't fuck this up.
No, we can't. It'd be like, oh, an EMP device went off in Atlanta and there's no internet. We can't be on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
La-
it's like-
ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a moment to welcome Mr. Bobby Blackwell.
Oh my God, that's what a Tony P. Henderson intro sounds like. Oh, I love
Oh my God, he's from the Voice of Geeks Network.
what?
oh, my God.
Bognetwork.com.
That was. I gotta say, Tony, if because you and I worked the conmods.com and we had a number of cons planned this year that we're gonna be traveling. One, if you showed up and I saw that Batman hoodie in real life, you probably wouldn't go home with it. Two, I'd hug the shit out of you and make things awkward because I just love that
Yeah,
thing. It looks so good.
It's a snuggie. Just so we're all clear.
I love it.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. And just for that, I'll wear it next. You know, it's usually 100 degrees in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and so the snuggies.
Don't worry,
kind of
it
the
still
last
is.
choice.
Don't worry, it still is.
Yeah.
But maybe
Although,
when we
sometimes
do
in
a
the
winter
basement of the
con.
Hilton- I was gonna say sometimes in the basement of the Hilton it feels like it's fucking negative 40. Yeah.
No,
Like
you
it
have
does this.
Hey, you know what?
No.
One advantage this year: no smoke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's true.
None of
That's
that- none of
true.
that barbecue
Last year,
smoke.
for those not to know, last year we were right outside one of the bar and grills that had no ventilation.
No.
So
Smelled
the
so
alt-
good.
it's well for those of us that like meat, it smelled amazing. For those that
For
didn't,
the
it smelled
vegans
horrible.
and all, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was like literally
It
one of
burned your
our
eyes
rooms
and
was
stuff.
like literally one of our rooms was full of smoke during
I-
a panel.
I don't know how the alarms didn't go off. I don't know how it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Because it was that bad.
You can take photos of it, but that's not what we're here to talk about.
No, it's 2020,
yeah,
not 2019.
Bobby, you did really good today. I really appreciate all your help.
Thank you.
Bobby is not a volunteer on the track at all.
No.
In fact, Bobby has offered to pay us for the track a number of times as a sponsor, but he stepped up. He's part of the leadership team, absolutely, in what we do, and being there today to help out it made things easier because at one point is after Scott had come in anyway, but at one point someone was like, yeah, they can't get their camera to work. I'm like, hey, that ain't me. I'm the live guy. Scott's handling that. And if he shows up late, okay, because I don't care. I'm not fixing your camera here. You show up with your camera working or you're out. I mean, and it works. Having that segregation and that separation really is a smooth thing. And Scott, you said it best inside of our general chat and Discord that everybody has just worked with this so well. So many people don't understand Discord or don't use it. And even on the fly, last minute, we had people getting in. I had to make them a panelist so you could even see the green room. Otherwise, it doesn't exist to people. And it just no complaints. Nobody came in with a bad attitude. Everything's been good. Kurt maybe questioned my sanity and sexuality, but other than that,
it really helped me. Like, so a little behind the scenes, one of the panels kind of wasn't my baby. I kind of got added to it later. And so there was a lot of scrambling, but jumping in that green room gave me 5 minutes, 10 minutes to kind of chat with everybody. And hey, here's what's going on.
Dude, you had the panel that had the issues, the tech issues.
We had, I said this to a couple people after the fact. It's not a secret. I think the panel went really great. We had a lot of good panelists, but we had way too many people. And so there were a lot of tech issues and a lot of moving parts, but it gave me a minute, the green room set up to talk to everyone, make sure I got everyone's name straight, kind of, get all the silliness out of the way. well, I mean, as much as I could, but get us all organized and take a breath and take a beat before we were on live. So it was super helpful. It was, and I told a few people after the fact, I thanked them for participating, but I was like, it was way too many people. But what had happened was, everybody I reached out to said yes. I had some trouble at first, and I was like, man, this is going to be a struggle. I'll be lucky to get a few people. And then the last batch of people I asked, all were gung-ho. And I said, if someone, I'm not going to tell someone no once I ask and they want to do it, you know? So I was like, this is what we're doing. We're just going to roll deep into this one. But yeah, everything worked out. So
you had such a good like variety of voices and perspectives, though. It was a it's a good problem to have.
It was a
yes, agreed. I would rather that.
If you had like 2 hours, I would have watched the two full. I wouldn't have, because I was technically supposed to be in class for half of it. But
yeah,
I know what you mean.
You give them a day off. They love
I need to go. But it was that good. Like, it was that interesting through the whole thing. And I think that's, you know, you had some great
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
moderator.
And yeah, I would have loved to have talked doing more. Like you said, everyone kind of got shortchanged, but I'd rather that problem than just me and Charles looking at each other for an hour, you know?
Oh no, we put it on a good staring contest. Everybody watched the shit out of it. You know, that is, I have made notes on a lot of the panels as we went through, knowing that we're going to talk about tonight. Before I get to that though, I want to go with Scott. As you came in later on and worked with people and then hung out and watched the panels, other than obviously the panels you did, what was one of your big takeaways from today?
Man, honestly, a lot of it was just everyone really being cool and cooperating. Like, you know, we went through the tech tests, you know, a week ago, and you know, like Bobby, Joe, Tony, like a couple of people already jumped on to help us, you know, just, you know, run through, you know, do a couple of test run throughs of what it would be like to, you know, pull people out of the green room and everything like that. And, you know, and you can never tell what's going to happen, you know, especially when it's technology. And so, you know, for everything to go as smoothly as it did, and everyone, you know, showed up on time. Everyone, you know, like Charles said, everyone came in with a great attitude. You know, if someone had trouble, we helped them out, you know, got everything working. And, you know, and that's what I always love about, that's why I volunteer for this group, is because everyone's professional. Everyone, you know, generally comes in with a great attitude and they're great to work with, you know, and it, you know, it makes, you know, Charles and I's job a lot easier and a lot more fun, because we're not trying to wrangle people, you know, or trying to fight people to do what, you know, to do. Everyone pitches in, you know, and wants to make it work. So,
and I think the extra steps you have to take to be a part of what we're doing this year is it keeps out. I literally hate to call anybody riffraff, because in all honesty, I could count on one hand the number of people I won't have back to the track over the last couple of years, you know, and so it's really sometimes people are late because other things happen. So really it's just bad attitudes, or
they have to go teach a class or something.
Yeah. It's,
well, you know, this year no one has the excuse of having to fight through 3 hotels.
But they have to come in and go, okay, what do I do? Because it's new, right? So like, I don't know Discord. What do I have to do? And I think it worked really well, as opposed to, you know, perhaps sitting on other panels and getting ill. And that's the thing too. We're all at home, roughly, right? So it's not like you went to a panel and got really mad about something somebody said, and you came in all hot and bothered, and now you're bringing your anger out on the track. It's smooth. Bobby, being, you know, I want to hit the behind the scenes people more or less. I know you've done a number of panels today, but what are some of your takeaways today?
We have an insane amount of luck, because because you can plan for a lot. Exactly. But that brought the luck. Your luck skill was higher. You rolled pretty high on that.
We Chris Wisdom backed out. We all know Wisdom's a dump stat. So, you know, without that, we didn't. I love you, Chris. I wish you were here.
That was a really funny joke.
To be fair,
I don't mean to say it. Like,
well, you know what? To piggyback on that,
it surprised me too. Like
Chris was out and Scottier was out. So
Yeah.
That's our two like elements of chaos.
That's the wisdom dump stat and charisma dump stat. But I brought the luck.
And Scotty, I love you. You are chaos.
Yes.
But do you love him?
I do. I do. I love the guy. He's a great dude.
Bobby was talking about how things are going.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of luck because there's stuff that you can plan for, and that's some of the stuff that we prepared for. When I was helping you guys last week, I'm like, well, you may want to think about this. They're like, oh yeah, we should, and so we thought about it, and also we had some really good panel leads that were able to communicate, and they communicate a lot of the information, so we didn't have to dump a lot of information on them in the green room. But I was a part of an event that is usually in person, but went virtual this year on a big scale, and we're talking tens of thousands, close to 100,000 viewers on Twitch throughout a week. And they had done all this planning, and we had things set up on how we were going to do things. And then they went live at 11:30 a.m. on a Sunday and realized that they had to change everything.
Oh,
and
no.
They cut out a segment. They started an hour late, and it was a week-long event. And if anybody knows me, you might know actually what I'm talking about. It was a week-long event, and the schedule basically just got pushed. And so I was scheduled for something, and at one point it was actually scheduled for 4 hours later. They started making time back. It was only 2 hours late by the time it got to me on Wednesday night. But the fact that they had to change everything on the fly, and they rolled with it, and they got it fixed, and they started getting time back. But they had bad luck. They had bad RNG. And we didn't have that. Everything pretty much started and ended on time. We're not pushing panels back. And so that is a monumental achievement, even though I know this isn't as grand of a scale as what they were doing. But we had the luck on our side that basically, if you were just watching, you didn't know that maybe there were some tech snafus other than Dr. Zoom, the supervillain, coming in to stop people from talking.
Yeah. And that's to be expected.
I don't know. I'll say I'm a big proponent of you make your own luck, and I know you can only prepare for so much. But I think when someone's yelling at you, I was in a panel. They're like, well, it was Charles. I'm not going to say it was them. It was Charles, like hard stop in 5 minutes. And we would have gotten cut off in the middle of our, and sometimes you got to be like
off
that.
At a hard stop too tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm tired and we got to go. But you got to be like that. And I don't think that happened. I think everybody wrapped up when they were supposed to. And it's just a good group of professional people and great panelists. And but to Scott's point, good attitudes. And I'm blown away. I was talking to someone earlier and I was like, oh, we're going to do the wrap up. And of course I want to go in and say something smart alecky. I was like, but spoiler alert, everything's been so good. And I'll keep saying
we got to stop saying it because we're gonna jinx ourselves.
We got 2 more days.
We got 2 more days. Let's.
Well, okay, so
you can clip that. It was so good, and then it's just dumpster fire.
Apparently, clip went away. I don't understand.
And so it
Clip's
begins.
been weird today. No, clip has been weird all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah,
it's like it won't let you go and edit it, but it does actually save it because I can see it on the back end. Anyway, it's weird. But belief, like you said, you make your own luck. And belief is everything. And DragonCon believes in us, man. From every meeting, from the time that we met in the real world, and there were some hard changes because we were looking at making some major changes to the digital media track this year. And DragonCon was behind us. Then real world stuff happened. And then COVID happened. And then we didn't know what was going to go on. Then they had to shift to digital. And we were already making plans. And I had a 60 panel schedule already made, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna do all digital.
About that.
But I mean, they never said I had to cut it. I just know I have to sit here for the 60 hours it's going to take to do it. That's not, and a lot of times we do multiple panels at once. That's just not possible right now. But I mean, all along they're like, and they checked with me first, like, yeah, no, I'll help anybody with anything, and like they used our track as this is how you do it. And I want to tell you, if we can't show, and I know DragonCon TV is knocking it out of the park with their tracks.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of great people. I'm not saying, oh, we did it all for them. We didn't do it for them at all. DragonCon TV has done everything that they've done over there. But if we can't show the other tracks how digital is supposed to look, why the fuck are we called the digital media track? It's
Yeah.
rated R.
Yeah,
I can say
that's
that
a good
now.
point.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a point of pride. And like for me, each year we've done this, it's always about getting better. It's always about doing more, and each year we always do more and do better, and then with this year just being what it is, for us to do something completely different than what we're used to, just shows you how adaptive we are, and I think, and again, like, yeah, we have less panels than last year, and stuff like that, but you're just you're adapting to a whole new element, and for it to have kicked off the way it has, like, it's just been great.
Sunny Meg says, I wish more tracks were using Twitch. It plays so nicely on so many more devices. And I get you, and I love that. Tony's mentioned how much he loves how the Twitch chat has worked. I've told people, I've not verified it 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's right, because I know Hugh was like, I don't want to sign up for Twitch. I'm like, you don't have to. You can't chat, like you can't type chat, but I'm pretty sure you can watch everything without ever signing in.
Yes,
and that's so great.
Absolutely.
But somebody else early on in the day.
I have a good friend of mine who's not very techie. And what, Charles? Shut up.
Go ahead.
You're about to change this. You're about to change the subject. So before we leave the subject, and for those out there who may be wondering, like, I have my best friend. He has no tech skills, and he said, I don't have Twitch. And I was like, come on, dog, we got you. Well, everybody has Twitch.
Well, and we pushed to be on Twitch last year is when we first started going on Twitch, because we had tried Facebook Live 2 years ago, and that was what it was. Yeah. And so we made the move to Twitch, and it's been, for the most part, it's been fantastic. And it's like you said, you don't have to pay for it, you don't have to sign up for it. You can watch, it's just as accessible as anything out there, and that's the important.
And all the apps
DragonCon, and it all works.
Yeah.
And that's what DragonCon is about, is accessibility. So
and somebody and to that point, and this is where I was going, Tony, somebody earlier in the day.
So anyway,
in all sincerity,
Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting.
And seriously, and this is off topic, but hey, Almost Daily Discourse. Tony, Mike, I, and Phil do this show, and it's a bit of a dumpster fire, but we have fun with it. Go subscribe and follow us, and we're here on Twitch under twitch.tv/almostdailypod. Because that, all sincerity, you need a graffiti. That's the first phrase that gets graffitied on the wall. We need to add that already. It's so iconic already. But somebody got into the chat and said, thank you for being one of the only tracks. He may have said the only, but I don't know. That has pretty much a full schedule live all weekend.
Yeah.
And that was like, I did it for you. And not to talk about numbers, because I don't know about the viewers, we have to break all that down, but watching the followers coming in before the con, like 10 followers, which is understandable. There's not much going on. We're at 212 followers now. People have just been hitting that button all day, which is awesome.
Pretty much
come back.
Pretty much every panel I've been, watching, it's been like in the 50s and 60s viewers.
Yeah.
Just about
like a
all
full
day.
All day too.
But
good.
come on, we can do SDCC. We can be 10,000 viewers. we can do this. It works the same. You won't break it. It works the same. Come on, watch us. But I want to talk about our takeaways again. So, Mike.
Yeah.
What was one of your takeaways from today?
Honestly, this is going to sound like, when I heard it, I thought to myself, well, fucking duh. But like, I had to have that moment of like hearing it, somebody else said it. And I was like, oh shit. Yes. I was watching, which panel was it?
It was the
one with the guys and
guesting.
the thing.
It was
guesting. Yes, it was the panel on. It was the panel on how to be our guest, right?
It's Tyrus panel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And someone said, "Well, just send your press kit out." And the way they said it, I was like, "Well, yeah, fucking, of course." And then I realized I need to make a press kit.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you're at it.
Right. Like, I knew I needed to make a press kit, right?
Yeah.
But like, I just hadn't ever. And then the the folks on the panel were all like, yeah, of course. I send my press kit out all the time, and people are guests on my shows because of that. And I was like, you know what I mean? And like, that's the stuff for me on the digital media track that like is so damn helpful. It's like, no matter if you have, a listener or, 100,000 listeners, having a press kit makes you a better, more professional show.
Yeah.
And I hate to plug Almost Daily after Charles had just done it, but we talked about like what makes you a pro this past week. And like,
Mike, you got something in your beard.
That feels like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it just feels like a good mark of a pro is to be like, oh yes, let me steal that, let me put it in my back pocket to do it later, right?
There's a lot of stuff when you start something with intent. There's a lot of stuff that comes off really well, but I won't get off on that soapbox. Stephanie, I gotta say, Mike, had my wife been doing Shakespeare noir, I like, nope, shut the camera down, shut the mic down, we're done. I'm like, Kurt, I'm like, Stephanie, oh, I need adults. I don't even know what's going on. That was my takeaway from that panel.
My favorite takeaway was OnlyFans/Bar Talk.
You'll be a millionaire by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
No, I mean, honestly, I was just trying to monetize the whole time.
I hear
you.
He was sending up the press kit and everything.
But Steph, what was your good takeaway today?
So, and again, sorry, Tony, to harp on your panel from this afternoon, but I teach high school. I teach high school English. And I am always, one of the most important things to me is finding new books that my kids can enjoy and that they can see themselves in. And I've taught in a whole bunch of places with a whole bunch of different kids, and it's so hard to find diverse books, especially in fantasy and sci-fi. And so I was like, literally, I had my laptop and I was taking notes, and I was like putting things at our locally owned bookstore, putting things into my cart through your whole panel is what I was doing on the couch. But just those are the kinds of books that I personally love. And also, if I can offer those, if I can just have them on my bookshelf, and like Dr. Kong was saying, putting an African American face on a cover is so what that means to a student who can see themselves on a cover of a book is like, I've seen it. I've seen those kids connect, and there's nothing better than that. And so like having that for an audience that's wide and broad, and on a panel like this and on a channel like this for this whole big nerd con, like there's nothing better than that. And I friggin' loved it.
And before y'all bust her about how much stuff she's had to drink to make those like tears happen, she was crying this afternoon on the couch. Yeah, so that's not that.
Well, I'm going to run through some of the notes I made. Because honestly, so I was talking about clipping. I set some stuff up on the fly, right? As we're going, I set up Nightbot on the fly, and this and that. We tweaked it. And
yes. The Nightbot of exclamation point name is.
And that came from the third panel.
Oh, my God.
Because
actually,
in the second panel, somebody was like, is there a command? I'm like, no, I don't have all those, but I'll see what I can find. And then Amani was like, hey, I had already gone to our general chat in our Discord and said, I'm open to commands if anybody's got suggestions. She goes, did you see our document? And she already had all of that. And then other people like Bobby started, and if you put it in, I start copying it and slamming it in. It's
it was
awesome.
so good. So
hell, by the time we got to the evening, Mr. Smooch had a command.
Yeah.
Like I said, oh, blah, 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 Mr. Smooch. And then someone was like, boom. I was like, this is crazy.
What a good cat.
Yeah.
Good cat.
So in the first panel, man, we weren't 5 minutes in, and Mike Faber says, geek is another word for passion. I was like, son of a bitch. And I almost put it like as a bar, quote, across the top where it says rated R now, quote, geek is another word for passion. I was like, dude, that set the tone, because usually we do a kickoff panel that tries to set the tone and the theme for the whole con. And I was like, no, you did it. I knew I could trust the process, and I mean, it just came out naturally. Geek is another word for passion, and that was such a great thing he said. And in that panel, Mike, you're talking about the press kit, and I know everybody took something away. Lots of great tips on getting guests, prepping guests, and being that good guest.
Yeah.
And yeah, me too, Mike. I was like, we got a lot of professional stuff for ADD. We need to do a press kit.
We're probably gonna do it. Yeah.
And then we got into the life and times of Blurred in America. And Tony, that was handed to you, and you changed it and you tweaked it, and you got a lot of good people. A lot of good people. And it was so. The first tech issue was Tony. He's like in the middle of a question. He goes, "Hey, so Ted, I need your." And it stops, and we all kind of look. And I'm no face, right? No camera. I just pop up my mic. Yeah, so Ted, I think he's asking you to tell us about your book and the story behind it, or whoever.
Seamless.
Yeah, and then they were answering, and then you came in. I just muted. It was good, and then of course there was that, but it was funny. And Tony, did you freak out because I know you? Did you like? Oh my god!
No, I was so pissed off. And I guess my takeaway, and I know this, I've done this stuff. I've done my day job enough that he's got to roll with it. I told a friend, I was like, everything was good, rolled with some stuff. But for a nanosecond, I almost flipped a table. And I was like, no, I can't flip. It's my desk. I need it to work.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, I was pissed for a half a second and then was like, all right, well, let me shoot a message to Charles. Like, hey, I dropped.
We knew.
I didn't want to like look crazy when it came back, so I kind of just was like, okay. And then fortunately, I think it was Channing. He was just already going. I was like, oh, thank you. Like and now I heard, that Charles jumped in, Channing took the question, and, everyone saved it and kept it moving.
So smooth.
And the thing is, moments like that, like being on the tech side, moments like that make a minute feel like a year.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Like it like in the grand scheme of the show, it was a minute or two, but when you're in that moment, it's like just seconds are hours. And it's just like, come on, do and you can't do anything. You especially now because we don't have you don't have a mixer in front of you. You don't have any sort of, like something like that happened last year. People would have seen me like frantically, pulling wires and stuff. It's just one of those you have to just sit there and ride it out. And for you to continue to run the panel and not let it be a major deterrent. Like, that's an awesome thing.
And you're right. Go ahead, Charles. You got excited there.
I was gonna say, my brain is on 4 different tracks at once. I mean, I literally am tracking 3 screens and time, and I've been working on stuff. I published 2 shows today while I was banning all this, But I mean, the moment he froze,
I saw your social post.
Yeah, you see it. The moment he froze, and I queued up, I'm like, old Whitey's going to have to run the blur panel, and I don't know if this is going to go over well, but let's do this. And like, this is not going to go well. I'm not going to bring my camera up, but I'm going to deepen my voice and be like, okay, Channing, what do you got in the blurred life? And like, how's this going to work? But it worked because Tony came right back and it worked.
Yep.
And then what I love, I didn't write down the quote because I got so fired up by it. And I think it was Dr. Kong said, it could have been Channing or they both echoed each other. Is because somebody asked that question about tokenism. How do you avoid tokenism? And he got in there and said what I said 3 fucking years ago. Shut up. The door's open to get there.
That was a good moment because it was Mike's question. We kind of wrapped a little early, and I was like, all right, cool. We can pad with this. And they those people, the ones on the panel, really appreciated the question. It was a good question.
It was a great question.
And it was a good response. And then I saw out of the corner of my eye, Charles was fired up like, yeah.
I like man, no caps in our private chat. Preach. I was like, yeah.
And so, I mean, it just, it's a good moment. Look, I've said this to some people. It's not secret. I got put on the panel later. I much prefer goofy, silly stuff. I'm just a goofy, silly person. But when the opportunity comes to do something a little more serious, it meant a lot. And just like last year, it was a great panel. I think it went well. Credit to the panelists, and I was just happy to be a part of it. I was just happy to be a part of it and help bring it. So
and you were great, man. You funneled it well. And it was so many people you didn't get to tell a whole lot of your own stories, but that's what we do as mods, But everybody was open and talked to each other, and And you even called out something we were thinking like, why is this white dude sitting on the panel? It was perfect, but we'll be
he
on that
literally like I tuned into the beginning of the panel while I was at work, and he like when he said that I was like, from my brain to your mouth, I'm like, why is there a white dude on this panel?
Anybody with half a brain would look at that and be like, hold on, wait a minute, you know. Yeah, like Mike said, timeout. But and I shared in the panel, he had a really good story to tell, and of course the internet got him. It became a thing. Like everyone was trying to shut him down.
Job of like reinforcing, even though he got some of it out, like you did a good job reinforcing his story. And
you were able to at least get the story conveyed.
Yeah, I knew the story. Like I was there, you know, and so like I could feel it. Well, anyway, so Ted met this black woman. They have a mixed kid, like you know. And
you have again, no experience with that, Tony.
Exactly. And it's just one of them things. I just. You know, I for a second wanted to get mad. I was like, "What do you get mad about? You know, just keep it moving."
Yeah, you did a great job.
You did. You absolutely did.
You were fine.
You're perfectly adequate.
We're so used to we're so used to since March all these virtual gatherings, virtual meetings, and everything that you know we expect that now. Like, so that's just a way of life now is Dr. Zoom, the supervillain, coming in and ruining things for a little bit. And that's because he was talking about supervillains, I think. So that's when
that's when you put it. Yep.
I do have to say, though, Tony, you did only like show out as being fine because Naru might be the coolest person on the track today. Like, he was so chill. Everything he was in is just like the coolest dude the whole time. Like, and maybe I just have a huge crush on Naru. Naru, hit me up later.
I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. Yeah, like
I looked at Steph midway through and I was like, dude, like no one's cooler than Naru. Like,
moving to the next panel. Twitch Beyond Gaming, Swan, man, she got on there and she's talking about killed it. Yeah, talking about how it hurts no one to learn the process on air. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying. That's awesome.
You want to talk about crushes on our digital media?
She is 6'4", just this tall Amazon blonde. Oh my God, all day. No,
you know what's funny with her, since we're talking about it, not that long. She just started doing Twitch maybe a month or two ago.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm not gonna go into her business, but we've talked a little bit about it. She's like, you know, I don't like getting on camera. I'm like, fuck that. Do your thing, you know. Well, I don't like to blah, blah, blah. Oh, no, fuck it. Fuck all that. Get out there, do your art, be awesome, you know. And everyone, I think most people, you know, go through that early on, except maybe Charles. Everyone's kind of, you know, a little skeptical and shy and whatnot.
I mean, he was a rock demigod at some point.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I might have missed this, but yeah.
It's crazy that the only thing rock left is his brain.
And so, Emily's in the chat. Hey, Emily. And so
this is weird.
Like, right? Awkward. But no, serious. Like, but then also, and so now, and I was like, look, you're like doing panels and stuff now, like months later. And it, you know, if you didn't know, you wouldn't know it looked totally like they've been doing it for days, you know, like it's just a normal thing that she does all the time. So
wasn't last year like her first actual DragonCon?
Yeah, I think so. She's in chat. Emily was.
I mean, she works.
I know it was.
Cons, but
I know it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there you go. You go from a con newbie to being on a panel,
running a panel. Yeah,
running a panel.
And a dope panel. That panel was super good. Like I suck at video games. And so it's like really refreshing to see somebody be like, you don't have to just play video games to be on Twitch and like have people hang out. And like, that was really nice to hear because
the whole you know, people want to hang out with others they're comfortable with, doesn't matter how good you are. And the different things that all the people were doing differently that were not games,
video games.
You know, it was like this, and then somebody I can't remember who it was, but somebody in the chat earlier tonight was like, You wouldn't want me to. They mistook what somebody else was saying. Somebody else was like, "Oh, I want to go to work and stream." Basically, they want to be a streamer professionally, and like, "Oh, you don't want to see me stream from work. All you see is dirty trucks and oil changes." And like, people would watch that. I mean, go check out this panel. Somebody would watch that.
There's people that stream coding, like you know,
and then whoever it was just made it worse. They're like, somebody you can ask questions, and other people are like, we'd watch that. You're like,
we would do that.
Today I was putting together breaks, taking them apart. I'm like, dude, you just got like 10,000 views right there. What the hell?
Like I legitimately, I don't know shit about cars. I would watch that. Like, how does this stuff work? It'd be awesome.
All that
There's
advice
an
you've been
audience.
giving me is bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my car.
Hey, Bean.
Sorry about them brakes.
hey, Bean.
These are
Try
the brakes.
exclamation point love and see if you like that one. Then I put in exclamation point Amazon just for Emily. It makes me laugh. Other great stuff. Recording Rig had a lot of great advice from the amateur podcaster to the handyman. It's a free to play. That's what TP is. Free to play podcaster to the handyman or those who could buy the studio. I mean, that was a really good panel across the board. I think it's great. Let's see.
Mike almost spent too much money after that one.
Yeah. No. Once I found out that the Heil that everybody is using apparently is a dynamic mic and not a condenser mic.
Oh, yeah.
I
can't hear me at all.
Bro. Bro, you don't have a Heil?
Nah, dog. I'm rocking that Shure SM58 because I want to shoot it out of.
You want to be able to
gun.
hammer it and then
Right.
Yeah.
Adventure
All
Inc.
the cool
I've seen that happen.
the only reason I got the Heil, and I shared this in a panel, was because Phil had one. I was like, "You got a Heil? Oh, I got to get one now." Like, hey, used, by the way, used on Amazon.
I went to a podcast conference and they had a table on the floor that you could go and sign up for and do your show. And they had a kit that had 2 aisles and this thing. And they were trying to sell the kits for like $2,000 and it was way overpriced. But I sat down and I heard what it sounded like on the microphone. I'm like, all right, I'm going to save up my money. I did. But I made a business first so you can write it off.
And that was the point of the panel, was just, to show that there's many different ways you can do it. You don't, Heil is a great microphone. That doesn't mean that's the end all be all of podcast microphones. 58, there's so many microphones out there at so many different price ranges that if you don't know what you're looking for, you will overspend, and you really don't have to. A couple $100 can get you some really solid gear to get your podcast or stream or what have you started. You don't need to invest thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I come from the studio world. I've been in studios with, huge, racks of compressors and preamps and everything like that. And it's great, but I can count on one finger how many times I used that stuff, when it was just mic into a good, interface into a computer. That's it. Or USB mic into a laptop.
Dude, when we started Adventure Incorporated, I was on a gaming headset. And we had somebody on earpods with the inline mic. We thought we stepped up huge when we all got snowballs. We were like, oh shit, we're big time now, baby. Snowballs and a pop filter made us sound like pros, compared to where we were. And then, now.
And technology has progressed so much more. It's so much more accessible now. Right. For the longest time, the snowballs were kind of the premier USB, and then you got the Yetis, and then, and now USB microphones are its own market. And
for real.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's kind of hilarious, and we didn't get to touch on it, but what's funny to me is, when the pandemic hit and everyone, went into isolation, USB microphones, USB cameras went through the roof. Regular microphones, same price.
It's the best.
This microphone right here, the AT2020, which I live and die by, it is the same. It costs the same, but pre and post pandemic, because people don't understand.
Yeah.
Typically don't understand XLR mics. They just want to get the USB because it's simple. you know, and that's we wanted to show different options for different setups.
And I love Hugh being on there, and I had to prompt him like, "Why the fuck are you telling your stories?" Because I mean, literally, when I got my start, and I'm using a built-in. Actually, I think I had an SM57. Actually, I had a band before I started podcasting, so I had some mics around, so I had okay stuff. But he really helped me try it. Well, with this one, I've got it set to where I need to be on top of it to cut out all the other noise. But try your hands. Like, tell them the hand trick. Tell them this. You got so much knowledge you taught me. But what was great about Hugh was when whoever hosted it, Favor You, I don't remember who the fuck said it, but they're like, "Hey, so if you could really upgrade your studio, what'd you want?" And Hugh goes, "Nah, I'm good." No. Like, that's why you're on this panel, because that's what people need to hear.
Yeah, Steven was asking us. Yeah. Bill had said, "Hey, like we should kind of talk about, like if we had to start up, if we lost all our equipment and we had to start a podcast tomorrow, what would you get?" And Steven kind of took it into a different direction. He kind of went into what's your wildest, setup if budget wasn't an issue. And it's like, okay, but that's not really what we're going to talk about. Oh God, Charles, really?
I find ways to entertain myself. I didn't type it though. I just got somebody else to type it. I find ways to entertain myself.
That's why you kept telling us to type it.
That's right.
Hey, type Charles is the best. So with unlimited budget, Charles, you couldn't get your BFF a webcam?
I have a budget. And here's the thing. He's got the engineering knack. And he called me on Thursday. He's like, "I don't know. I dug up my cam and it wouldn't work." I'm like, "You got a Best Buy? You got the single life rolling, man.
Well,
you have money."
I happen to know that's like your homie, man. You couldn't take care of your boy?
No, because I expect people to shut the fuck up. Oh yeah, I got two sitting right here.
You have two webcams right in front of you.
I do.
You're not even using one of them.
That's true.
So the Adventure Incorporated panel, I thought was really just phenomenal use of storytelling, and it was funny and it was engaging, and
it was.
All I remember from that was a lot of tentacles and a lot of throbbing.
Yeah.
That's all we need to remember, Scott.
But before we get out of here, the pros and cons about being on a network, I thought went well. With awesome. the big takeaway there is trusting your gut to know when being solo is right or being part of a team. You know? And then bar talk, frat boy Shakespeare, Mike. I was like, oh my God, what am I watching right now?
Dude, like I said, man, I went to school in the Northeast.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I only know one type of frat boy.
It was awesome.
And it's the frat boy from Boston, and that's it. That's all I got. Like
yeah. Oh, and the step away from the mic. I'll be honest. When two people got in there and they introduced themselves basically as not really having a heart for content, but essentially saw the business of creating media, I was like, ooh, where's this panel going to go? And it went really well. It went with a lot of great advice. Cool. I'm always worried about, and I know Mark. I've known Mark Deal for a while, so I know that he's not going to come off as selling you. But I only had just met Carleaf, and both of them. Just great content, great. I mean, transparency is the best thing. Yeah, I skipped a couple panels. We're running out of time, Bobby. There's a hard goddamn stop coming.
I know. But I want you to talk about my panel. That's
talk about it, Bobby. Tell me.
Well, because one of the things that I like about this and what we've actually been able to do a good thing of, because I've been coming to DragonCon since the beginning, and I was even in like the first edition of the podcasting track all the way back when. And I even remember, even as recent as 2 and 3 years ago, we would get feedback like, you know what? There are so many panelists that look like Bobby or look like Charles, or, and we don't have the diversity. But because we're virtual, we can pull in people like Carleaf who would not be at a DragonCon.
Yeah.
And I've actually, and tomorrow on one of my panels, I pulled in someone that would love to come to DragonCon, but hasn't been able to make it work out yet. She's going to come in and participate and be a part of it. So we can actually kind of reach into our Rolodex and bring in more diverse voices. And everybody's been doing that. These panels have not been filled with people that look like me. And I think that's awesome.
And that's
important to me.
And that's been kind of a complaint, the past couple of years.
As recently as 2 and 3 years ago, Charles has been working really hard, and I've been seeing it over the past couple of years to fix it. and
Bobby,
we just take another step.
Use the command, Bobby. Use the command.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't love.
Oh, my keyboard doesn't work right now. Oh, darn.
You know what? I will say though, Charles, you got a lot of crap in Discord for posting that how to join your meeting document like 30 times in every room and then in every channel or whatever.
I told everybody, fuck off, I know what I'm doing.
As a high school teacher who will put something in front of a child and they will say, Miss, where can I find it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, tilt your head down. It's there. Mm-hmm. And they're like, Miss, I don't know where it is. Like having all of that information like there and like
And we talked about that like during testing is like let's hammer this out exactly what the procedure is.
And some people still couldn't find it, even though I was like, it's right up there, just scroll up a little bit. So no, I was not one of those giving you grief. I'm like, I know exactly why you're doing that.
Right.
anyone who knows like what the purpose of that was. Just the people that were maybe new or just didn't quite get it.
Well, the only one I really saw, because I see everything, but I ignore a lot of stuff that doesn't matter, or that's not relevant to what I need to do right now. Joe was like, wait, stop. I'm like, no, Joe, I know what I'm doing. You put it in every room, because somebody's going to go to that room and look for it, or go to the panelist room, and sure enough, tonight, there were still people asking for the link. You know, some people had already been on panels earlier in the day. Like, I had a hard time finding the link. I'm like,
Charles, I'm right here. You don't have to say some
but
people.
you weren't right where you needed to be because you were asking for the damn link, Mike.
But let me tell you, I need it reposted. I'm like, post it again because I'm doing 100 other things and prepping these notes, and this person's messed up and that person's messed up. And that, that minute or two before you start getting panicky, I don't want to have to, and so
I don't mind,
it's credit to everyone because they did repost. They're like, all right, here it is again. Thank you. It helped me.
Well, even Scott came in and said, I need the link. I'm like, so Scott came in and said, I need a link. And Bob's like, it's in the fucking document. And I'm like, there you go. Because I know how it is when you're thinking fast. It's just
I didn't have it open either. So.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's like I had literally just come in from work, so my brain is,
And I get that because I'm always like, well, it takes 3 seconds. Because literally, I have the participants open all day. I just hit invite, copied it, threw it in. Because I know what you're saying, Scott. It's a lot easier just, okay, I can go find a document. I wasn't thinking about that. And Bobby wasn't being mean, but it made me laugh. But Bobby's like, it's in the document. But it was fun.
I fully expected to get I fully expected to get ripped a new one about it. So for as much crap as we give you.
Yeah.
One day, people are going to turn out to see me and not just the show I put on. And then they're just going to give me a ton of shit still. But, we'll get there one step at a time.
You can't be on a DragonCon panel if you don't make fun of Charles at some point.
It feels like it. The first one was and be our guest, and Hammond whipped it out. Right off the bat. And it actually cracked me up. And that's where I learned, Mike, they could see me. Because I did not know they could see me because I'm like, as Scott says, we're practicing. I'm like, oh, look, hide self-view. That way it's not on the broadcast. So I did not know hiding self-view only hides it from me. And
no, we went over that during testing, Charles.
Yeah, I missed it.
Self.
It was in the document, Charles.
But he was like, we saw you laughing. We saw you get up and move. Leo like, oh shit! Did I pick my nose or something? I don't know.
It was funny. Yeah. It was running during our panel, and I forget exactly what it was. But someone said something, and you just started flipping double birds at us. It was just like,
Phil said he didn't sign a contract. I was like, oh, you motherfucker! Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
And it's kind of distracting to see you in the corner, like flipping the hell out. But I have this, have the stream up, and it's like, oh right, no one else can see him but us.
So, I loved it. I loved having Charles in the corner.
Yeah, he walked out in the middle of our panel, and I almost was like,
I only warned one.
Gone.
I only warned one because my wife had said dinner's here. You want me to bring it down? I'm like, no, I need to actually get up and move. This is going to. So I told him, you will see me leave because I'm going to go get something to eat. But every time I left, I had Twitch on the phone and I could watch it, and everything went great. Shut up.
No, it was.
Phil can't even bother to be on the call. You don't get to talk in the chat.
Phil chatting. Yeah, this is supposed to be ADD, and Phil's not even here.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This has made it so much easier this year, and nothing against DragonCon because I want to be in the real world. I want that energy. Sometimes running from room to room, putting out fires, it gets a little hectic and crazy, but there's an energy to that. But Scott mentioned that. It's like, you know what? Left to our own devices, we make our shit work. And throughout the day, I mean, it took weeks of processing video and audio after last year's con to get it out. Today, almost all of the panels are already on YouTube. Almost all of them are already on YouTube.
I'm super grateful for that because I had to dig through a lot of footage and a lot of audio.
And then of course we won't get on that, but I was even able to give Jeff of Super Geeked Up because he waits patiently. I was like, I'll get you it when I can. But as we're going through, I'm like, oh crap, I can just hit download right now, throw up a Dropbox. And within 30 minutes of his panel being done, like, Merry Christmas, dude. Here's your link.
And that's the thing. Like, we always, like, I feel bad when, like last year, people coming up, hey, get me this, give me this, give me this. And it's like, I want to, I really do, but I've got 10 other things I've got to do first. So for us to be able to do this where we can just deliver it almost immediately, we don't have to go through all the posts and everything. It makes it a lot easier for us. It makes it a lot easier for all of you because everyone here's got shows that they want to put the DragonCon show up. If not next week or 2 weeks later, you got it. It's delivered.
Yep.
Last thing I want to say is again, everything was amazing. I can't say that enough. And if you guys are still with us now and you had fun, 2:00 tomorrow until midnight again.
Yep.
10 hours of nonstop, 10 different panels.
There it is. Right there.
From one thing to the other. It's just such a wide variety and so much content that I'm just pleased and excited and just so proud about it. So
where's the room party?
The room
This
party.
is the room party.
This is
Where's the room
this
party
is the
tonight?
party.
Come on.
Green room.
in my bedroom.
Time
Just me.
Time to tear up the green room. Let's go.
So,
Oh,
all
so,
right.
no, it's actually over in the official Discord. That's where
We've got streamers.
Oh, y'all go ahead. So check out our Discord, obviously. Mike, can you put in the commands? Check out Discord.
I
Check
don't
out.
know what the Discord command is.
It's I got it.
It's just I got it.
Thanks.
It's
guys.
exclamation love.
My God,
No.
Stephanie.
Charles won't give me an exclamation point. So
Stephanie, why? Why? I mean, you're talented. You're
There
beautiful.
it is.
You're smart. What's up with this chump over here? I don't
Charles,
understand.
if we were in person, I could show you.
Damn, like a chump.
Oh,
Hey, like a chump.
I
Hey.
doubt, man. You.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
DragonCon
that's
is
the
a little
after
weird.
dark stream.
All right,
That's
we
the
gotta
after
go.
dark stream.
We gotta go. So
Your camera
Discord,
what are you
Let's
here?
go.
Your camera doesn't work?
YouTube. YouTube. We got a lot of the stuff's on YouTube already. So yeah, we'll be back tomorrow at 2:00 with more content, and we got 2 more days of this, and it's fun, and it's a good time. And Anthony had subscribed, and it just took him to patreon.com/botched. So thank you everybody for being here. Thank you Scott and Bobby for working your ass off, and Tony did a lot of he designed this whole layout that we have, and
Looks
did
so
a lot
good.
of
By
moderating.
the way, yeah,
so,
by the way, the graphics top notch.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
So-
I'm so excited. I really am. So let's get some sleep.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Let's have a drink.
Bye everybody.
some-
See y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Later, y'all.